Please give me a moment to make sure everything's set on up. Okay, that seems all good to go. Whoops. I don't know why the window just seems a little bit off. I'm probably overthinking it. Either way, I think everything I need to go over here to make sure live chat's going. Macros turned on. I think everything's good to go. Minimize this. So let's go and get started. Greetings everyone, and Great here with another Advanced Wars by Web replay. Small on top or right side, or just the right side, Purple Lightning Andy. We got Star Flash 250. Small on the left side as the Cobalt Ice Kindle. We got Hudge. Something I immediately want to point out, the both players do start with 3 health missiles, so 1 superpower for Andy. He has a fully functional missile. Won't be at full health, but I think it's usually around 7 health is the minimum requirement for missile one-shot battlecopters, among other things. Just keep that in mind, so let's get started. This is a 3-base map, 1 airport, technically 1 seaport, but there is shores here. So the blue water ships cannot reach the other side, nor even the transports can go all the way up here. There's a comm tower near your HQ, but that is contestable. The HQ is pretty exposed, and it is on the strong side as well. When I say strong side, I mean 2 bases, but that is quite a distance there. So now that I'm sure, there's a good amount of roads, properties, and shores here, so we would be able to blitz around no problem. Got a tank out by both players now. Capture victory is 29, so both players will hover around, what, 18,000 funds per day? Assuming it's a 50-50 split in the capture properties. Double recon, so looks like Andy's going to try to rock in the northern area. Kindle right now has 11,000, so she could go for battlecopter, but she will have only 2,000 funds left over, so it'll be double base skip, so think double infantry. And he just pushed up his income to 11,000. Kindle's currently at 10. Recon does spot the missile, but the missile does spot the recon, but the recon spots the missile. And the missile knows where it's at, or knows where it's not. We do have artillery out on the field by Andy this turn. Battlecopter by Kindle, so she has 2 tanks, 1 battlecopter. She has a bit more momentum in her favor. Does spot the missile. Tank double infantry. Plus the black boat's getting a little bit low on fuel, which the occasion... Wait. That's 9 fuel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's actually pretty close to sinking. This one's at 13. I didn't realize how low the fuel those black boats are at the moment. Recon tank infantry. Does interrupt the capture, does stop the capture. Tank gets on the top of the city. Tank does spot the tank. Battlecopter can get a good shot into it as well. And the tank does spot the battlecopter. Actually, no, I actually don't think the recon spotted it. But yeah. Kindle's barely able to make it back to port. Ends with 1 fuel remaining, so may explode a little bit at the start of next turn. But just a little. Double test entry there. Tank hits the recon and not the tank there. Leaving us now 6 health tank there. Andy could try to bring up to a 8 health tank, but that's probably not worth it. Anti-air infantry and infantry. Lots of captures there. 16 versus 18,000 income. Tank falls back to HQ. Oh wait, wasn't that missile in range the battlecopter? So it didn't try to take a shot against the tank there. And it's no longer in vision, so could possibly not get shot up. Though right now it's in pretty good bait position if the tank were to take the shot against it. Granted, if... Oop, like I said, the black boat only exploded a little there. It's currently at full fuel. And also, I mentioned beforehand, Andy's probably going to try to save this missile, get up to an 8 health missile, and start shooting down battlecopters. Kindle could, oh, battlecopter hits a tank there. Does receive 1 point of damage. Does spot the missile now. Won't be able to engage it. Missile is out of range of the battlecopter. Oh yeah, missiles in this game are 5 range, not 6 range. Missiles being 6 range in Days of Ruin is such a actual make the buff making missiles actually very useful. Battlecopter, tank, double infantry, not to mention there's more hiding spots for them. Tank does hit tank. Tank does hit recon. Recon gets knocked out by a tank. Artillery advances and provide coverage for the tanks there. Battlecopters are in range. Missile could be sent to the 5 health next turn, which could snare itself a battlecopter. It's an infantry unit twice. Units are falling back. Tank does strike the tank, does put the artillery and missile there. Enters range of the missile there, so that would be a 5 health missile next turn, which could be popped with 7 power. Strikes the missile with the infantry unit there, and since it's at 3 health, it was able to be picked off by the infantry unit there. Very nice. Infantry, tank, and battlecopter. Artillery takes out the tank, hits the infantry unit twice, and takes out the battlecopter, hits the infantry unit twice. A lot of good engagements there. We do now have a, a Urban Blights available. Pretty close to full High Society. High Society would provide 21, so 63% firepower global. Plus 10, plus 10, plus 10, plus 130% firepower from attacking from urbanized terrain. Double recon, battlecopter, and infantry. Infantry hits infantry. Anti-air hits a recon. Infantry hits infantry. Tank hits recon. Tank, and tank. Does got 1 infantry units. Infantry, battlecopter, artillery, and infantry. Tank gets a boost strike on the anti-air, does not one-shot it, but got pretty close. Battlecopter, artillery, double infantry. If Andy were to double tap this tank there, then there would be a potential property where tanks could be picked off from. Captures the city there. Hits the infantry unit there with... Oh, the tank with the infantry unit there. He's going to try to go for a super. Does have a superpower. We now had 101. Takes out that tank there. Hits the infantry unit there. Hits the infantry unit up north. Infantry double tank. Both players have the superpower. High Society will be quite powerful. This has no more properties to be captured this turn. Is an infantry unit twice. Try and recapture the property. Missiles to the 7 health. And Kindle's prepping up a good number of forces here. It looks like she's going for High Society. Andy does have now a 3 health anti, which could be boosted to up to 8 with the superpower and +1 range and firepower, so we'll be able to reliably one-shot something. It's the infantry unit there. Battlecopter, infantry, tank, and recon. Kindle is just prepping for a big superpower. Tank, artillery, infantry, and battlecopter. Kindle is at 21 properties captured. Oh, got the superpower. Mid-turn superpower goes from 130 to 136 and a half. Hits the infantry unit there, hits infantry unit. Does have a couple tanks popped. Oh, that tank is dead because I did some rewinding. One battlecopter goes down, but we've got 2 battlecopters in reserve. Hits the artillery piece, which could fire miniature nuclear warheads at 6 health. It might be able to still be a one-shot that anti-air there. Does get some picks up north. Tank infantry. Kindle has a superpower available. Full superpower. 22 property, so 66% firepower bonus. This artillery. That's a reliable one shot from 6 self artillery. Yeah, just to give you a comparison of what these engagements are going to look like. Battlecopter versus battlecopter. Fair amount there, but from a city, that would be small miniature nuclear warheads. Missile reliably one-shot that battlecopter. Okay, I'm curious about that. Yeah, 140. Battlecopter nukes battlecopter. Tank, 3 health tank hits 8 health tank and got 5 points of damage. Battlecopter does not take out that tank there. How bad was that luck? I needed max luck to get a reliable one-shot. Artillery does not take a shot from the city. That tank, however, probably had about 200% firepower bonus. And it's quite high. It's probably due to the fact that it's on top of a... I know it's on top of planes. I thought it would be much higher than that. Getting a lot of reliable one-shots there. Probably the extra defense from the power or superpower from Andy. Battlecopter, tank, infantry, insert 126 versus 90,000, so she got a pretty good turn there. 3 health tank falls back, 1 health tank hits 1 health tank but loses the flip. Anti-air takes out battlecopter. Hits the 1 health infantry, get a shot there from the city. But the high retaliation damage from the superpower is, well, high. Battlecopter, tank, infantry. Kindle is still have a slight advantage as she's about 1 full turn advantage. Battlecopter hits battlecopter, does not take it out. Artillery solves up the anti-air. Battlecopter hits tank, tank hits tank, tank hits artillery. Trying to flip some cities. Recon hits infantry unit there. Tank hits battlecopter, does not finish off. Does take out that unit there. 5 health, and he is going to strike that battlecopter. We may see a power for this turn by Andy. He has a lot of wounded stuff that could really use that power. Instant 121 versus 79. Captures 1 property. 1 property still despicably neutral, and that's this one right there. Hits the anti-air. Hits that recon. Hits the infantry. Pops to the hyper repair. Shells the tank there. Hits the tank there. Hits the anti-air. Hits battlecopter with a bit of a moonwalk. Takes out the battlecopter or the artillery. Hits the tank. tank, battlecopter, infantry, and infantry. Pops an urban blight. Missile hits the battlecopter, but only survive thanks to the fact that Andy popped his power. Boost strike hitting that infantry unit there. Tank does hit tank. Tank does hit tank. Does pop the artillery. Battlecopter hits battlecopter. Another battlecopter. Infantry, recon, tank, and battlecopter. Does hit some of those units there. Tank does hit tank. Tank hits tank. Tank hits tank. Tank hits artillery or recon or missile. Blah. Black boat down to 0 fuel. Oops. That thing will go ahead and sink to the bottom of the shore. Tank does hit the anti-air, hits the infantry. Does take out the battlecopter there. Battlecopter moving around. Tank and infantry. Black boat does sink to the bottom of the shore. Does pop up another hyper repair, go from 60,000 to 69,000. Very nice. Kindle's at 87,000 at the moment. Battlecopter, artillery, double infantry. So right now Kindle does have the advantage, 22,000 versus 20,000 income, and a full turn advantage. Battlecopter does the battlecopter. Kindle needs some units up north. Anti-air likely, maybe another battlecopter. Tank, and anti-air. Tank, double infantry, and battlecopter. Urban Blight popped. Recon hits the battlecopter, does not take it out. Infantry does take it out. Hits the infantry unit there twice. Recon finds 3 off infantry. Anti-air, tank, infantry, and T-copter. Maybe he's going to try to paradrop or drop off a infantry unit on top of the HQ. Battlecopter, tank, double infantry. Oop, battlecopter does get trapped. Battlecopter hits tank, tank hits tank, anti-air pushing the ways up north. Battlecopter, tank, and double infantry. Hits the infantry unit twice. We got the battlecopter now struck. Tank does hit the tank twice. Battlecopter, tank, infantry, and infantry. To have a power, another Urban Blight pot by Kindle. Does get good strike on the battlecopter. Does not finish the battlecopter. Hits the infantry unit there. Artillery's in range of the anti-air. Tank does get trapped by the recon. That's not good. Triple tanks. Does hit some of those units. Does pop a superpower. Tank does hit the tank. Some good hits up there. Double recon, battlecopter, and infantry. Capture the city there. Artillery does strike a tank. Tank does get finished off. Battlecopter hits battlecopter. Battlecopter gets shot down. Saxon infantry unit there hits the A-tier. Tank hits tank. Tank does not hit tank. Kindle could start capturing the comm tower next turn. A-tier gets struck twice. Does hit the battlecopter or tank. Andy could start threatening the HQ. Does hit the battlecopter for quite a bit of damage. Tank double infantry. Trying to flip the comm tower. Or infantry could go ahead and park itself right there to help intercept. But it is exposed. Artillery, tank, infantry, and battlecopter. Nothing really stopped this battlecopter up north. Looks like Kindle will be flipping the comm tower, but so will Andy. Artillery, tank, and infantry. So Kindle will have one turn with double comm tower. Does pop another urban blight. Tank does hit a tank. Tank hits tank. Another tank hits tank. Does hit a battlecopter there. Anti-air double infantry. And another battlecopter. The hybrid repair is available for Andy. Battlecopter double infantry and tank. Kindle also has the economic advantage, does flip the city. Tank does hit the artillery twice. Battlecopter, tank, and double infantry. It's the infantry unit, prevents that capture. It's the artillery. Infantry, tank, and battlecopter. Shells that infantry unit there. Battlecopter hits that infantry. Battlecopter hits battlecopter with booster strike, one-shotting it. Recon gets double tapped. Battlecopter hits battlecopter. Battlecopter gets strafed up. Battlecopter, infantry, anti-air, and infantry. Tank does a tank. Tank does a tank. Battlecopter hits battlecopter. We do have another hyper upgrade. Hyper upgrade now deployed. Goes from 96 to 95. Does the tank up north. Tank, battlecopter, and infantry. Does shell infantry unit there. Shells a couple units there. Sacks on the battlecopters. Battlecopter hits battlecopter, boosted strike. Hits the tank, hits the other tank. Finish off the 1 health tank. Hits the 5 health tank. Hits the 3 health tank. Battlecopter does hit battlecopter. Tank, recon, and artillery. Superpower available for Kindle. It's entry up north. Nothing really stops this tank or the enemy tiers in this region, so Kindle can clean up this area quite easily, so it can come down what's down south. Kindle has about a turn and a half advantage. She may pop her full superpower this turn. Captures and then pops superpower, 21 properties, which might still be 22. Yep. shells and infantry unit there. Takes out another infantry unit there. Tank hits recon. Infantry gets hit by anti-air. Hits another recon. Interrupts a capture. Takes out a couple units. Takes out that capturing squad. Battlecopter hits battlecopter. 8 health battlecopter finish off a tank. 7 health battlecopter gets a good shot there. 1 health tank does finish off. 12 tank. Oh wait, 4 health tank took out 9 health infantry? Apparently that's reliable. Sorry, I just got back confused like that. Second 2 health battlecopter. Double tank infantry. And Andy just outright resigns there. This is Ann Grade saying thank you for watching, and on to next replay. My apologies, I am back. I something just remembered as well. Somebody submitted a replay to me and I forgot to actually grab it. Give me a moment to open up my Gmail. And there we go. Let's go ahead and do this one here. Oh yeah, I don't have to change my display every time now since somebody showed me the maximize plugin. So let's go and get started. Greetings everyone, and Grade here with another Advanced Wars Days of Ruin, not Advanced Days of Ruin. My mind's melted right now. Advanced Wars by Web Replay. Spawn north side as the Gray Sky Cold, got Map Quest. Spawn south side as the Yellow Comet Jake, we got McDonald's. Oh. Actually scroll down a little bit. Oops. Either way, let's get started. This map is a 3-base map. Seaports, we do have an airport here next to a pipe seam. Or pipe, not pipe seam. This is a pipe seam. You see the seam? I have high hopes for this replay. He told me something interesting about it. I have no idea how it's going to go. Guess we'll find out soon enough. We do now have a tank there. Kindle has 11,000. He can afford a tank as well. When it comes to the HQ, there's also, of course, a cruise on top of it. Double recon there. So it looks like Cole's going to reconnoiter the area. Recon, infantry, and infantry. Another tank and double infantry. Tank up north. Tank of course structurally spawned over there. Artillery, double infantry. Jake, of course, has good artillery. It's the primary reason why you ever go for beat down, his power, because it gives +1 indirect range. All the aspects are really not that useful. Another set of infantry, infantry, keeps 5,000 funds in the bank. Mech, infantry, and tank. Recon does hit the infantry unit there. Tank, and infantry. Flips trying to capture this comm tower. This one's already been captured by Cole. Does double tap this pipe seam there. Is also taking some shots from planes with increased firepower of 10%, so it's not that great. It's not like a Kindle property. Tank, and infantry. Tank does hit the tank. Takes out that infantry unit there as well, or sacked it to interrupt this capture. Couple captures there. Pipe seam does get destroyed. You monster. Does get a good shot there in this infantry unit on top of a city. This one is out of range. There's a mountain in the way. It's that infantry unit there. This tank should be able to range this tank, which needs a bit of a spotter to actually spot it. Anti-air infantry and artillery. Does the pipe seam on top left? Tank, and recon. Tank does hit a tank. Infantry unit does hit the recon, but does not finish off said recon. Capture the seaport now. Hits a shot down the infantry unit there. Hits that recon and interrupts that capture. Tank, anti-air, and infantry. Hits that infantry unit on top right. Tank does hit the tank. Pipe seam does get struck twice, and both from the roads. So it's going down as quickly as this pipe seam there, effectively. Though the tank is a little bit more powerful than a mech. Mech's got a pretty good firepower bonus, or scaling compared to Days of Ruin, where mechs, battlecopters, and tanks all do the same amount of damage to, say, a tank. We do now have a power available for both players. Recon does the infantry unit there. Cole's power is going to be much more usable than Jake's, but +1 indirect range could be nice. We do have a tank here. We could see +1 direct range for the tank or for the artillery. Could be for a rocket, or maybe even a pipe seam or pipe runner. Wait, pipe runners cost 20,000? Jeez. I don't even know what the firepower is like on a pipe runner. I don't think I've ever seen one deployed out legitimately in normal gameplay. All that I do remember as well, it plays an incorrect sound effect. It makes more of a metal creaking sound than a boom sound like it does in DS. Anti-air, tank, and infantry. A good number of tanks here and a recon, so plenty infantry the wall. Only got a single artillery in the forest, a couple tanks in reserve. But Jake's pushing forward hard over here. This is the strong side, weak side mechanic. Strong side, you get 1 fat base. Weak side, you get 2 bases. Weak side, you do get the airport though. Need some battlecopters, which we do see 1 battlecopter deploy in the field, ready to ruffle its way up north. Does have the infantry unit there, so in range of the artillery. That's an auxiliary. Medium tank, infantry, and probably infantry. You also have another battlecopter on the top right. Jake does have 23,000 monies. Artillery strikes the tank. Tank hits tank. Interrupts the capture. Tank does hit the tank. We do now have a trail of... Whoa. try to make a Crash Bandicoot joke there. We got a pipe runner. But of course, since it's not a pipe, these little things that holds up on top of pipe is clearly our legs. It's like a Neo tank. I mean, it's round on top like a Neo tank. Here comes the Trail of Woe. He may need to base lock himself with this pipe runner. And then he can probably go a heavier asset. He does have 26,000 income, barring repairs. So you could go for a bomber. Also on range, let's see. Pipes runners have 5 range, right? So hit that infantry unit there. So we'll need to go for a beat down to range something, right? Maybe not. Even then, I don't think it'd be enough to range something. Recon, spot the pipe runner. Both players went for pipe runners. What the hell is going on? This may be the only map where you can pull out pipe runners. This is the ranged pipe runner. This is the vision. The pipe runner has an unusual vision range of 4. I don't know if any other unit in the game has 4 vision range. I am curious about some things about pipe runners. Okay, if a pipe runner were to hit a tank on a plains, how much damage? That's pretty good. How much does it do if it was a rocket? Rockets and pipe runners do the same amount of damage. What happens if it is a battlecopter? Easy one shot with a missile. Pipe runner will do less, but still be a one shot. So pipe runners or rockets are equal, and even though the rocket has slower mobility, it's somehow more mobile because of the proper terrain usage. You now have a block rock now deployed in the field, which can now range his tank, so he may base block himself. He does have 25,000, so he can go for some heavy assets. I'm curious as well what other units are... Stealths and black bombs are both banned from this plane of existence. That was the artillery piece to get a shot there. Does take out that unit there. Hits the recon. The pipe runner is not going to base lock himself at this current position. Oh, he's out of range of that tank there. Hits the tank there. Recon hits infantry. Infantry hits infantry. Yep, got the incorrect sound effect there. This pipe runner, of course, is not spotted, while this one was. Tank does a tank with a booster strike from the planes. Artillery gets a +1 range to hit the tank there. Very nice. Double taps that infantry unit there. How resilient are pipe runners as well? Let's just say no superpower. And it gets hit by a tank. 66 to 57. If it was a rocket. Okay, far more defensive. Though that's still not a great idea to get a shot up. Does strike the tank there. Does kill the battlecopter there. Back into the joke I was trying to say, trying to make Crash Bandicoot. Okay, now that sound effect sound like the superpower sound effect, not the move sound effect. I swore that would sound like a superpower sound effect. Like, dun. I might be just going crazy. But I was trying to say about that joke, but it sort of sounds like a StarCraft 2 to me. Now this one kind of goes like, whoa, they're all over me. Yeah, that's probably really missed a smart capture. I tried to explain multiple times. Does interrupt the capture. The pipe seam course is the pipe runner is revealed since it's on top of a pipe, because in this game pipes are just visible unless it's something bugged with advanced wars by web, but it might be visible right now. Seeing it backed off. Well, there's also a medium tank in the region. Oh, we got a drop of black boat drop here. I think there's another infantry unit still loaded inside of it, right? So he did go for black boat here and does make his way down south. Oh, or Jake could do the same thing as well. Oh wait, I think there is an infantry unit still loaded inside the black boat. However, he landed on top of the mountainside. No, he can't. So he may hold this because it's currently out of vision range of everything until you can somehow get the black boat here to drop off infantry unit. I'm trying to think. You can't reach the airport from this side. Though he could go for the seaport there, get the aircraft carrier, and lock down the airport. Tank, anti-air, and recon. Mech hits the tank. Anti-air finish off the battlecopter. When I say finish off, I mean take it out in one shot with full health, with 7 health. Does take out the tank there, trying to flip a city. Lots of good picks there. Battlecopter, recon, double infantry. Oh, late deployment there, so he did actually keep it, but didn't deploy it. Not sure exactly why. I mean, he missed out full turn capturing. We do now have the Trail of Wolf now full of the field, or available. Bomber ready to conduct a blitz. Does sack the mech there. Battlecopter interrupts the capture. Does spot the black boat, shoots the black boat, and of course will cause some repair damage. It's the other infantry unit down there, so it's safe enough to be sort of left alone for now. Neo tank, recon, and infantry. Another T-copter. Does hit this infantry unit, capture the city. T-copter, recon, and anti-air. With this heavy acid, probably some extra recons wouldn't hurt. Because that would be the job of a bomber. Tank does hit tank. Mech does finish off the tank there, hits the infantry unit there, finish off a couple infantry units there. Artillery's in range and could hit either 0 defense star unit on the beach or 0 defense star unit on top of the roads. Battlecopter hits the black boat. Battlecopter, artillery, infantry, and anti-air. Trail of Woe now summoned. +2 move range, of course, plus what? 30% firepower from roads. You can see a mech here. Does get some good interrupts. We've got a good number of tanks here. Medium tank hits regular tank, but in range of the artillery, hits infantry unit there. And also in range of Neo tank. So next turn, it's going to be a very good turn for Jake. Though he is going to not have a good shot on the bomber. Or at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The anti-air is in range of the bomber, but just needs to clear out a path of 2 units and a spotter. But here comes the block rock. Recon does not spot the bomber there. Neo tank is a booster strike from the planes, one-shotting it. Anti-air hits bomber would not be touched. Artillery does strike the tank there. Strikes the black boat, traps the black boat, entirely surrounds the black boat. Anteater could be struck. Oh, using the mech to capture the city. I thought the mech's going to finish it off, but trying to flip the city's not a bad idea. Tanks on blitz on the right. We got medium tank infantry recon. Bomber nukes the Neo-Tank, but thanks to extra defense, the Neo-Tank does withstand the shot. 2 anti-airers in the region to take on the bomber. One can get a boosted strike. Tank, and anti-air. Shells the recon. Hits the infantry unit. Hits another infantry unit there. Recon interrupts the capture. Neo-Tank does get a good strike there. Anti-air does get a boost strike onto the bomber. This T-copter hits infantry unit there, does not finish off the bomber this turn. Takes the black boat, puts a tank on top of the seaport to prevent some sort of shenanigans. There's also maybe a map where you can actually deploy out a submarine, submerge it, and then you got a untouchable recon unit. Albeit a very expensive one. Anti-air, recon, and battlecopter. Medium tank strikes the mech, however, is in range of artillery piece. And in range of 2 battlecopters, but we do have 2 anti-airs for those 2 battlecopters. Resupplies a bomber. Does not take up the Neo-Tank. Neo-Tank's spot close to 1% health. Medium tank infantry and recon. And this black boat could be trapped there by having anything park on top of this beach here, or in this beach here. Neo-Tank hits regular tank and does take it out. Recon hits infantry unit there. Pipe C now of range. Medium tank hits regular tank. Anti-air hits bomber, takes it out. Does not trap the black boat. That might be a mistake there. Shells the medium tank, hits the medium tank, hits the medium tank, hits the medium tank for a 4th time. Trail of Woe now available. You guys gotta wait the pipe scene, you monster. Not sure when the cruise actually went down. Cole may have destroyed it, I can't remember. Trail of Woe now deployed in the field. Tank hits recon. Is that one battlecopter to take out these other battlecopter. Hits infantry unit with a boosted strike. Does take out the Neo-Tank. And looks like Cole outright resigns there. The Zangrade saying, "Thank you for watching," and on to the next replay. Let's see, let's do... I just did a Kindle game, let's not do another Kindle. Adam vs. Jake. We just did a Jake game. Another Kindle game. This is gonna be one of these. Let's do this one here. Greetings everyone, and Grade here with another Advance Wars by Web replay. So on the bottom right side as Jade's son Drake. We got A7. I just got done casting a game involving Jake, and I always get Jake and Drake mixed up. On top left side is the Amber Blossom Kindle. We got Cacao Win. So let's get started. Cacao is, of course, the seed and plant used for chocolate, but that's not cacao, because that would be like C-A-C-O-A or C-A-O, can't remember. Do not feed that to your dogs, because it's poisonous to them. It's poisonous in the matter that it canines, including vulpines, have trouble processing chocolate, so it gets to a blood toxicity very quickly. Sort of like if someone were to drink too much alcohol, you can receive blood alcohol poisoning. It's like that, but just far more sensitive in causing cacao poisoning. Same thing with caffeine. When it comes to also like other things, like don't feed your dogs onions, you get the blood thinning effect, and in which their bodies also process that pretty quickly. That's hence why it does the blood thinning pretty quickly. I mentioned they're just smaller mass and size. The blood thinning from onions and garlic and other plants from that tree also does get effective to regular humans, but the problem is we can handle it, and it's probably very difficult to overdose on onions. So don't eat Shrek. Double infantry and tank. So we do have 2 tanks right now for Kindle, 1 tank for Drake. Another tank for Drake. His tanks are completely and utterly ordinary. This is a 3 base map, 1 airport, with a capture limit of 26. So there's actually, the properties a little bit sparse in this map. Both players probably capture around 18 properties per person, so that's not very good for high society. I say society can still be good, so it's more of an urban blight map that inflicts some blight upon this world. Tank, double infantry. Infantry, tank, and recon. Tank does hit a tank. And remember as well, labs are a valid property for Kindle's day-to-day passive. That's the most important thing about labs. They provide no income, 3 defense stars, can be captured for a tiny bit of vision, but Kindle does have full passive ability. Along with it, we do have artillery, tank, and infantry. Tank, and infantry. Does hit the infantry unit twice. Yes, infantry there. Tank is going unspotted, so this tank can get a good strike. If Kindle can somehow clear out this space or city, we can get a boost strike there, but that's not going to be likely, honestly. It's already surrounded, at least from this side. Tank does hit the tank. Infantry hits infantry, infantry hits infantry, infantry hits infantry. Infantry, tank, and infantry. Double captures there. Tank does hit the tank. Infantry does hit infantry, infantry does hit infantry, infantry does also finish off the first infantry. Shows the pipe seam there, down to 37 health. Anti-air, tank, and artillery. These well, if had the artillery park right there, it could have been parked right here, then it could show the pipe seam and the black bow without any additional turns. Immediate Urban Blight. I always think players should eye Urban Blight to go along with boosted strikes hit something, which does not seem like the case. There, of course, is tank next to a city, which can easily be cleared out. However, nothing nearby to get that said boosted strike. I always think people are a little bit too aggressive with Urban Blight. They need to combo it with a couple super boosted strikes, I would say. Battlecopter, tank, double infantry. Does get a bit of damage there. Anti-air, infantry, and artillery. Does the recon twice. Tank hits tank. It interrupts a capture. Stops that capture. Boost strike there. Gets a good strike with the tank. Tank hits does hit tank. Infantry hits the infantry. This infantry can pull off the property and then have a boost strike take out that tank. recon, tank, and infantry. Does hit that infantry unit there. Tank, and infantry. Does hit that infantry unit twice. Tank does hit the tank. Tank does hit the tank. Does interrupt the capture there. Of course, this infantry can pull off from this city and then get a boost strike to hit that tank. That's that unit there. We almost got a tsunami available. Interrupts that, or takes that unit there. Finish off the one health infantry unit there. Does have vision of the artillery piece, which I think one of these tanks might be able to range it. Yep, this tank can hit that artillery piece, and that is within vision. Tank does hit the artillery, boost strike hitting that tank. Typhoon's now available. Tank, recon, and infantry. There is the tsunami. Tank does hit the tank. Tank does finish off the tank. Tank does the recon. Finish off the infantry there. Hits the recon. Finish off the regular infantry unit. Does get some good strikes there. Tank, infantry, and tank. Chose the black boat. Does the infantry unit up north. Looks like got a bit of a bug. 16.1. Let's see, let me just refresh the page. There we go. There were some units from probably some other point of the game sort of popped up. That occasionally happens. Tank does hit the tank. Infantry, tank, and infantry. Do now have an urban blight pop in the field. Does hit that tank a couple times. Booster strike there takes out the A-tier one shot. Booster strike there takes out a tank one shot. This is a very good urban blight, getting multiple booster strikes like that. Infantry, tank, and tank. The black bolt course up north does get sunk to the bottom of the grassland. Infantry, tank, and infantry. Does hit that unit there. It has 3 capture progress remaining, so it getting sent down to 2 does interrupt the capture. Oh, we got a regular power deployed in the field. A number of these units are pretty low in fuel. The battlecopter here has 12 fuel, so he needs a APC up here because they'll have even trouble even reaching a single infantry unit there. The recon could be struck by it. Anti-air should not be focused on the battlecopter if it moves too much. Double tank and recon. Does hit the recon. How much fuel does that have remaining? It has 4 fuel. It won't be able to reach a APC. An APC would need to be deployed out more than the last, earlier than last turn. We now have another urban blight popped. Is that infantry unit there a couple times? Tank it. Recon and infantry. Of course, last time there is a Neo tank. Does hit the recon, hits the tank there. Anti-air hits the tank. It's a good thing he did not hit the battlecopter. The battlecopter next turn only have 2 fuel. Won't be able to range the tank nor the anti-air. You look here, 2 fuel, so can't range anything. So that's basically dead in the air. Does hit the recon booster strike. Tank, and infantry. Does hit the tank there. Hits the artillery twice. Neo tank is not spotted just yet. Battlecopter does get it fall out of the sky. Neo tank hits regular tank. Does not one-shot it, since on top of 3 defense star far platform. Infantry double tank. Anti-air double infantry. Does a unit there, the 1 health tank. Interrupts the capture, stops the capture. Does hit that infantry unit there a couple times. No proper counter to the Neo tank. Does end his turn top of a property, so will be restored health if it summons another tsunami. He does pop another tsunami. Tank does hit a tank. Tank does hit a tank. Anti-air keeps off the infantry unit there. This 1 health tank might as well just join in with another tank. It has low on ammo and fuel and health. Does get some hits, joins. Infantry, tank, battlecopter, and infantry. Tank does hit a tank, tank hits a tank. But both of them next to urbanized property, so urban blight could be very useful for a counterattack. Hits that wounded tank. There was a 1 health tank there. Hits the tank there. Does finish off that tank. So Drake's getting some a good loss there. A couple tank first strikes. So there might be a urban blight this turn. Could be 1 boost strike from this tank here, and then potentially something from this Neo tank. Pops urban blight there, which does also softens up some of these tanks. 1 shot's the tank there. Is a tank thrice and not quartice. From some properties, Kino's at 90,000 versus 18,000 income. The last property that's still despicably neutral is located right here. 3 capture progress remaining. Could see a booster strike here of this tank. Battlecopter gets a good strike there. Hits the anti-air to save the battlecopter some pain. Boost strike there of the other tank. Hits the tank twice and now thrice. Tank, recon, and infantry. Interrupts the capture on bottom left. Does got a tank there. Drake is behind 97 versus 106, so about a full turn behind. New tank has a massive boost strike there, taking out that tank. Times Drake wish he was Jake and get +1 range with the artillery. Got another Urban Blight popped. Infantry double tank. It looks like Kindle does actually reside there. Wait. I don't see how she lost. Value-wise on the field, she has a huge advantage. Something else may have happened there. This Angrade saying, thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. I have time for one last replay for tonight. Let's see. Wait, did I do this one last week? Don't think so. Let's go ahead and do this one, and this will be my last replay for tonight. Greetings everyone, and Grade here with another Advanced Wars by Web replay. So on the bottom left side is a purple lightning Von Bolt. We got Alaska Lanar. My apologies, I'm going to open up my tree I have over here. On the top right side is the green Earth Olaf. We got Morio. So let's get started. This is a 3-base map or an airport. One, the base is close to a pipe scene, so pipe runners could be deployed on the field. Recon deployed up by Von Bolt. Recon by Olaf. Another recon by Von Bolt. Just infantry for Olaf, keeping 5,000 funds in the bank. The next one you have 12,000, so I think it could be a tank double infantry, at least. It could be tank recon infantry. Tank double infantry, keeping 3,000 bank, so it could be more tanks. Von Bolt has no tanks in the field. It does have 11,000 income or funds, so you can go for a tank double infantry, which he does. Another tank double infantry. Recon hits infantry unit. Oh, does get trapped there. Calm time to send the map sort of occupied by that recon. Hits that infantry unit there. Tank, and infantry. Tank, and infantry. Both sides going for a healthy number of tanks right now. Tank, and infantry. Double tank and infantry. This map does have a 37 capture victory, so it's like a pretty high income map. Both players should be sitting around at least 25,000 income, assuming it's a 50-50 split. We have both players at 20,000, so a good number of properties in the map. Tank does get double tapped. Got a healthy tank up here. 3 health tank could be finished with a 6 health tank. Triple tanks there. Does get trapped. Double tank hits there. Tank. Does hit that tank. It's another tank. Interrupts the capture. Does take out the 6 health tank there, so it looks like Von Bolt's getting a lot of good early victories. Recon, ATR, and tank. No aircraft on the field just yet. Right now, Von Bolt in serve of 91 versus 65, so Von Bolt has a pretty good advantage. Does hit the recon, hits the infantry unit a couple times. Triple tanks there. Does take some hits. Hits the units up north. Superpower now available for Olaf. Vollenbolt barely advanced past half his value. That tells you how many good engagements Vollenbolt took there. 69,000 versus 101. 79. It's an infantry unit there. Of course, Vollenbolt will be moving a little bit slow next turn. Battlecopter double tank and infantry. Tank does hit tank. Tank hits infantry. Infantry gets finished off. Tank hits tank. Something important to know as well, Olaf still does not have a comm tower, while Vollenbolt does. Double tank and infantry. Double taps on this tank up north. We saw some of the tanks there. Good engage there by Olaf. Vollenbolt's Ex Machina is now available, which could strike right there, and that would be double base if that happens. And I don't think it's going to strike right here. Could possibly strike her. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think it's going to strike right there. No visual indication, so it did strike right there, locking down 2 bases. Tank does a tank. Neo tank double infantry. It's infantry unit there. Does get some good hits. Helicopter, tank, infantry, and recon. Does hit the anti-air. Triple tanks. Tank, infantry, and battlecopter. Superpower activated once again, dropping Vollenbolt for 105. Down to 82, 105 to 82. Neo tank is in range. Neo tank, not maybe with the blizzard though. Because without the blizzard, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 would be in range. But with the blizzard, he's going to be moving slowly. Recon does, of course, have some vision there. It may be best for the Neo tank just sort of stay there on top of 3 defense stars. Vollenbolt ends the turn of 109 versus 220. Tank does hit the infantry unit there. Does hit that tank a couple times. Neo tank advances way forward. A little bit too close on the Neo tank. Plus, I mentioned this is his own property. His opponent's property next to that Neo tank. Does spot the Neo tank now. Neo tank should get a first strike in the Neo tank. And Vollenbolt still has. Oh, goes from strike from the roads. Tank hits the Neo tank there. Guess he didn't want to risk losing, getting trapped on the forest tile. Tank. Finally starting to capture Commodore, but 9 health infantry. Battlecopter hits Neo Tank. Tank hits Tank. Tank hits Tank. Tank hits Tank. Neo Tank does fall back a couple tiles. Regular Tank does hit Neo Tank. Infantry gets hit. Does not take out the recon there. Battlecopter tank for anti-air and infantry. Anti-air takes up battlecopter. Neo Tank hits a regular tank. Regular tank hits a regular tank. Hits a regular tank there, takes it out. Ex Machina can almost be brought on in. Ex Machina can now be dropped. Where exactly would it land? Nothing visible got hit. So may have struck maybe right here? Yeah, I'm actually not sure where it struck. Could it hit the Neo Tank, like hit right here? Neo Tank double infantry. It did hit the Neo Tank directly. Got it. So it hit this forest. Another superpower there by Olaf. Tank, and infantry. Recon, tank, and tank. Five health Neo Tank hits the 4 health Neo Tank, leaving it to a 1 health Neo Tank. This Neo Tank is in range of this Neo Tank. Tank interrupts and stops the capture there. One of Neo Tank falls back to HQ. Neo Tank hits Neo Tank, knocking it out. Tank does go down there. Recon, infantry, anti-air, and battlecopter. Anti-air hits the battlecopter and does do a bit of a joint capture there, leaving it with 2 capture partners remaining. Tank does hit the tank. We do have a power available for Olaf. Anti-air, infantry, and tank. Tank, and tank. Tank hits tank. Bomber, triple infantry. Trying to flip a city. Tank hits the tank, joins with the tank. Hits that infantry unit there, stops the capture. Neo Tank takes out the artillery. We do have 2 battlecopters nearby, but the Neo Tank is on top of a city, his own city, so it got not only 3 defense stars, but some resupplies. Bomber heading down the south, takes out the pipe scene. Does the recon, hits the recon twice, trying to flip that city. Battlecopter is a battlecopter, tank hits tank. Another superpower activated. Von Bull gets sent down to 69,000 versus 116. Anti-air, and tank. Anti-air hits battlecopter. Neo Tank hits a regular tank. Battlecopter hits a battlecopter. Neo Tank hits a regular tank. Von Bull right now does have 36,000 funds to bank. Battlecopter, tank, and tank. Another Ex Machinas are now available, which could strike that bomber. Yep, it's going to strike the bomber. It's going to hit this bomber and one of these nearby infantry units there. That'll be 23,000. Another bomber. Actually, nope. It will probably strike right here, hitting the bomber and the 2 infantry back here, because that'll be 24,000. Yep, I have very good feeling it's going to strike back there. Tank hits tank. Battlecopter, anti-air, tank, and infantry. We do not have anti-air in this region anymore, so this bomber will get some good work done. In range this neo-tank there, just need clearing up some infantry in front of it. Can't rotate around on the side. When I say clean up, I mean he actually captured that infantry in there, so he actually blocked himself. Neo-tank will still take a 4 health neo-tank. Guess the tank last turn, so keeping 13,000 funds to bank. When it comes to banned units, we do have nothing's banned. So both stealths and black bombs are available. Neo-tank, tank, and artillery. Regular tank hits regular tank. Battlecopter finished off that tank there. Anti-air is out of range of the bomber. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Interrupts that capture. 5 capture parks remain, so it was an interrupt. Infantry, neo-tank infantry. Couple more of those tanks are going down. Triple tanks there. Bomb boat used some tanks there. Take out the anti-air and hits the anti-air. Does spot one of the bombers. You may not realize it's a different bomber from before. It does go for full fighter. Looking at this ammo, seeing that max out ammo, then either there's an APC on these tiles that you cannot see, which is unlikely, or that's a second bomber. In this case, it is a second bomber, so fighter is a good call. There goes that neo-tank. Another Winter Fury summoned. Finish off that 1% neo-tank. Infantry, neo-tank, and anti-air, and Von Bolt does resign there. This is grade saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. As mentioned beforehand, that shall be my last replay